the 11th edition of the Women's Strade Bianche. 13 gravel sections to deal with and a spectacular prize at the end of the day. Historic, the roster, never had it been so packed with new names and indeed some veterans as well, some coming out of retirement just to enjoy the day. Spectacular spring sunshine welcomed the start, and as soon as the flag fell, nothing. We were waiting, but this was to be a battle of attrition like no other. No breakaway managed to extricate itself from the pack, and so it was that the gradual grind down on these spectacular roads began. The attacks, of course, did come, but from a limited peloton, and by the time there was just shy of 56 kilometres remaining, suddenly we had ourselves a separation. Who was up the road? That was the big question, and who might bridge? Well, it looked like it was almost set in stone with 7 riders clear and the gap just starting to open up. But as the sectors came through, teams that had missed the move, and indeed some of those that were indeed installed, decided to impose themselves. The pace was high, over 3 kilometres faster than the previous edition, and quite frankly it needed a brave move. Garit went for it from SD Works and was hanging out there, just hoping that somebody would come and join her. Slowly but surely this came to pass, but what a day was in the offing. You had to be brave, you had to be extraordinarily good as well, and the chances of combining both were pretty limited. So it was that the attrition rate took a toll. Lamborghini not very well on the day. The front of the race separated now by 37 seconds from the main body. And, well, what talent we had up the road. Garit joined by Edzeth from X Mobility. She was on the radio calling for instructions. Would she be allowed to go up the road? Music from FDJ Suez was also up front with Ferrand Prévost as well, one of the veterans. Well, it started just like Lamborghini to have an impact, and poor old Garit was one of those that struggled. Others bridged over and started joining the fun. Vollering moved up. Music had done her job, and now it was Vollering to impose herself. Well, she went for it, others did too, and then all of a sudden this race was absolutely turned on its head. It had, quite frankly, detonated out there. So settle yourselves in for a big drag race to the line. We were ready, and indeed so were those that found themselves up front. Vollering had bridged Le Bois as well. Music had been part of the mood music for the day, I think you might say, but the bravery just kept raining down upon us. Every section of Strade had something else. Van der Breggen decided that she would push on, and the question was, who could follow? Well, it was a big question, and not many had the answer. Vollering bridged, and the pair of them together started to make music. It was amazing. 14 seconds turned to 34, turned to an even bigger margin, and it looked like a battle between the pair of them. How close, though, that was the question, and the kilometres were disappearing, and it was only on the very last that we got our answer. Van der Breggen, such a brave veteran, formerly, of course, the director sportif of Vollering herself. Would it be the apprentice that became the master? And on the final ramps, we found out the answer. Time running out to impose yourself, and suddenly Vollering bridged to the side. She had a look at the crowd and then just could not resist. Away she went. Van der Breggen left in her wake, and a wake-up call for absolutely everybody. A spectacular piece of riding. Timing, bravery, everything rolled into one, and the last sequence of corners allowed Vollering just to take it not exactly at her ease, but she had time to celebrate in a fashion that she well deserved. It was an amazing win, an amazing race, and a fabulous 11th edition of the Strade Bianche Donna. It doesn't get much better than this, and the smile said it all. Spectacular day of racing, and a truly wonderful podium it was as well.